Howdy everyone, it's EmParallax, and today I'm going to talk about some of the amazing updates. While they might be small changes, have a huge impact, at least for me, on the game, and why I am so for Idle Heroes and why the devs have consistently put out updates that not only are improving game content but functionality as well. So we'll be talking about that, and as well as some future improvements that I could see and I would like to add. I do these videos every once in a while, and as I get more ideas, I like to talk about the great job that they're doing, as well as just talk about some things that I think would add some spice to the game. So for me, I don't know about you guys, I've had usually have between 2 and 4 different servers that I play on. I also play on Nox, or a PC emulator, and my phone. So recently, when switching between different servers, I would say roll over to Celestial Island. Say I wanted to smash, even though I already did it, say smash. It already has my lineup saved. And now I can switch back and forth, at least on my phone, between those servers, and my teams are saved. So I don't know if it was always supposed to do that or me using Nox Player messed it up, but now when I'm on my phone, I don't have to go, when switching between servers, and re-update my teams, right? So I come in, I can smash either the boss or all of the islands and not have to update the team. It doesn't show on Nox Player for me, but it does show on my phone. It might not seem like much, but have that on top of the arena team, on top of event raid, all of that just saves me time, and not having to redo each lineup, choose my monster over and over again. So that's 3 areas times by however many accounts you have that you save time on. So I love to talk about these. Maybe some of you guys don't notice them, or for me though, they're huge, and it saves me time and allows me to enjoy more of the content, because stuff like that really is just tedious. Typing in your lineup all the time. Certain things, yes. Maybe for Brave Trial you want to switch it up, Aspen Dungeon you want to switch it up, I can understand. But really, Celestial Island, event raids, the arena, you always can go back and switch it, but just having it save is huge in my opinion. So I love to point out those little improvements that save time, right? So just in general, when they added Smash, and then you could change the number of smashes you want to do. There's a lot of little improvements like that, but I just wanted to focus on that one. So now I want to talk about some improvements, and the big one for me, when you're doing quests, mainly it's nothing too major, but get 5 rewards in campaign, right? I usually come in and I 1 and then 2, and then sometimes I get distracted and lose count, and it seems simple, but I'm just not paying attention. So sometimes I do 6 or 7 just trying to complete it, and then I'm like, oh, well, did I actually complete it? I come back and check. So another instance is, say, for the monthly events, I'm constantly going back and forth checking, what is my status on the militant event quests? How many wins do I have? What quest and what level are we at? So my thing, and a huge improvement that you guys may like or may not like, is if just they gave a little notification, right? So say this is the 5th one, boom, it says, pops up a real little notification for like a second maybe, just says, oh, daily quest completed, right? Just so I know, okay, daily quest completed. I do 2 wishing fountain spins, daily quest completed. I'm in the battle arena, and I'm going of the Trial of Champions. I get 50. Oh, achieved rank 1, or completed subquest 1, or whatever you want to, tier 1, or just say obtain 50 Crystal Crown League points, or Trial of Champion win points, or whatever you want to say. If it's just whatever the quest is, and just have completed, and it just has to pop up for just a second, just so I know that I'm done. And you guys might say, well, it takes 2 seconds to come back and check. Oh, alrighty, you have 15 more to go. That's 7 or two wins and 1 loss to get, or 7 wins and 1 loss to get 15 points, right? Well, I think it's just those little things that make it easier for players to know where you are. Saves going back and forth. That's one major of implementation and improvement that I would like to see made, just for the functionality. Next is hero and customization. They do a lot, and you have the assassin's gear, or the class gear. Sorry, I just said assassins because that's what I'm on right now. You have the different artifacts, you have the various stones, but I don't know, I like to play like Path of Exile, Diablo, stuff like that. And I mean, yes, it is grindy and maybe it wouldn't be the best fit, but I think it would be awesome if you could see these stats like a lot in Path of Exile and like Diablo. There's various ranges right to the crafting or just regular gear you obtain. Now, I mean, that would be a big shift, but I think that would be another way just to switch it up. Have different gear, but even if you want to keep the certain stats the same, have a little bit of a range, right? So they'd have to change how they distributed the gear somewhat. Maybe focus more on the crafting portion, or like you always get gear at a base level, but you can improve it to a certain extent. So say this blade, it's between 4 and 8%. So some people might have rolled a 5% attack improvement with a 5% crit. But because there's a range, you could have different variations for the stats. And I think that would just help add a little bit of flavor, and having maybe, other than the Celestial Stones and artifacts, 1e3 a mover would be not always the same as another based on what gear you gave them. And that's just a little thing. And that's a major change. It seems small, but I know they'd have to go over, and that affects how you obtain gear, how you craft it, all that good stuff. But maybe you just improve it, so it starts at a base stat of whatever, and like artifacts, you can level them up by feeding old gear to it. Because right now, I mean, I just go through the blacksmith and forge as much gear as I can just to get pieces to replace. What if you could use some of that extra gear and to level your current pieces up? And so I think there's something that they could do there, in my opinion, and I think that would be a really cool implementation. Now there's so much, the things they could do are endless, but that is a major improvement that I would like to see made. So you got the quest and task notifications, the unique gear with varying or improvable stats, and last one, I think it would be kind of cool if they had an area with like randomly generated encounters. So not really like the Brave Trial or Aspen Dungeon, but maybe it's like a map and different areas you could go to. And maybe one area is treasure, and you'll face different battles, and as you get farther in these dungeons or instances, you would get different rewards, and each one is different, and the heroes you face are different. So that's just another one of the little things, just because those random encounters and how far you go, and no progress saving. Like each one is different. Maybe you have difficulties again for different stages of the game. You have like easy, medium, or easy, hard, nightmare, legend, or whatever you want to call the difficulties. As you get to a certain level, or your team's a certain might, it puts you in a certain dungeon classification. So obviously if you have a late game player, they're not going into like a a basic dungeon, but you want everyone to enjoy the content. So like at endgame, you get better rewards, and the farther you go. So I don't know. Those are just a few of the items that I thought would be good implementation. One's a function, other one is kind of gear and hero improvement, and the last one is just kind of more instances and areas to kind of enjoy in Idle Heroes. So I really am interested in hearing what you guys have, what improvements you would like to make to the game, what you think of my improvements and all the stuff that I had suggested, and all that. So make sure to comment in the below, and I will look at those, and we could see what good ideas you guys come up with. But EmParallax here, and remember, it's all about how you look at things. And before I go, I am planning on doing that marketplace guide this week. I went hunting this weekend, and my fiance was off work the past few days, so I've been enjoying some time with her. But be on the lookout. I'm hoping tomorrow or the next day to do a marketplace guide of what you should buy, what you shouldn't buy, and what are some situational buys. So until then, I hope you guys have a great start of the week, and I'll talk to you and see you guys soon.